Hi, I'm Tom Colicchio with the Jersey Tomato Company, and today we're making the Cioppino. And so it starts off with some aromatics like leeks and fennel, garlic, some shallots, a little olive oil, some white wine, and then the tomato, and then we start layering our seafood. So we'll start by just cutting our leek. And for the leek, you want to actually use the paler green pieces in the center, not so much this dark green on the outside, and just cut them straight across. And then the fennel, we'll save the fronds for later, for garnish. For the top part of the fennel, we can cut straight across. And then once I get down to the bulb, I'll actually cut it more like an onion. And then we have our shallot. And so the shallot, same thing, we'll slice it across. Okay. So a little olive oil to start. A good amount of olive oil, don't skimp on this. We're gonna sweat the vegetables. So sweating, meaning that we're going to cook it in the olive oil without adding color to it. Right now the pan is actually fairly cold, which is fine. You want to do this on a medium heat. A couple cloves of garlic. Now, you know, garlic's one of those things where if you like a ton of garlic in the dish, add more. I'm not going to chop it up really fine. What I want to do is slice it and just across. And we're going to have just little pieces of garlic like that. So when I'm cooking, I'm not actually, going off a recipe. What I'm doing is I'm actually looking in the pan, looking how much I have, and looking to see the ratio between all three vegetables. So that's more garlic. Now, once you hear the vegetables start to sizzle, okay, that's when it's time to turn the heat down. Because right now this is kind of on high heat, but we're going to turn it down now. So it is still cooking. Now we're also going to add some fennel seed, and this is about maybe a teaspoon. And then salt and pepper. I always season as I go. You can adjust the seasoning at the very end, but I actually like to season the dish as I go along. So you let this cook nice and slowly, again, still sizzling nicely. But you do this for about 3 or 4 minutes until the vegetables start to soften, okay? And at this point, you'll smell the aromatics. You'll start smelling garlic and the fennel. The vegetables are nice and soft. We're gonna add a little bit of white wine, probably about a 1/4 cup. So to build a flavor, we're going to start adding our seafood. So we're going to add the clams first. So these clams just been, they're fresh. We'll just kind of add those. So what we're going to do is we're going to steam the clams open, and then we're going to start adding the other seafood. We'll start with the mussels first, because they'll need to open as well. And what's going on here now is all of the juice from the clams and the mussel, they're actually going in there mingling with the wine and the vegetables as well. So that's how we're creating our base. So I have some scallops and I have some shrimp. And I also like to add some firm fish to this, so I have a small piece of monkfish. It's a deep water fish, it's a North Atlantic fish, sometimes referred to as poor man's lobster. It actually has a texture and a flavor sometimes similar to lobster because they actually feed on lobsters. We'll just cut into small little chunks. This is done, this part is done when the clams are all open. The clams and the mussels will open up. When they're all opened up, that's when you're ready to start adding the tomato and then the rest of the fish. If you have clams or mussels that don't open up, you can just discard them. Okay, so you start to see the mussels are all opening up now, the clams are starting to open up. So I'm gonna just cut up some of these fennel tops because they're going to go in. So I'm taking the zest off the lemon because I'm going to add a little lemon zest to this as well. You want to make sure you get all this pith out. And just use the yellow zest. Okay, clams are now open. So I'm going to use the Jersey tomato spicy sauce for this one. I want to get a little spice in here, so just go with the spicy. If you have the marinara or the basil, that's fine too. Get the whole jar, give it a little stir. Okay, so now we have the vegetables all sweated, we have the mussels, we have the clams all cooked, giving up their juices. We added the tomato sauce. And now the great thing about this, because this is all already slightly cooked, you don't have to spend a lot of time. The flavor's already developed. So it's kind of a shortcut instead of using, you know, fresh tomato right now. But it's a good shortcut. It'll take a lot less time. So you just want to bring this up to temperature so it's simmering slightly. And then we're going to add our other seafood. So the monkfish will probably take a little longer than the shrimp and the mussels. So we'll add that, and I'm kind of scattering it around so it's distributed equally in the pan. You don't want to just put a big clump in the center because it won't cook nicely. And then we're going to add our shrimp. These are some scallops. Just add those, same thing, just kind of scatter them about. And that's really it. You let it simmer just until all the finfish and the shellfish are cooked. It won't take long. It's going to take a few minutes. You can add your lemon zest at this point, and you can also add a little bit of lemon juice. This is one of those chef's tricks. You want to get rid of the seeds. Strainer works. And again, this is simmering nicely. It's not boiling really heavy. Just a nice little simmer to gently cook the rest of the seafood that's in there. And then I'm going to add the tops of the fennel. Again, if you want to add parsley to this, you can. If summer and you have basil in the yard, this is the perfect time to add basil to this dish. If you want it spicier, now's the time to add a little more chili pepper if you like it spicy. And that's pretty much it. So this is a Cioppino fish stew made with Jersey Tomato Co. spicy tomato sauce.